Have you seen that movie, Munna Bhai MBBS?
Yeah,
The
of course,
Sanjay Dutt
many
walks
times.
in. Yeah,
Yeah,
Sanjay Dutt
yeah.
walks in like every like class stood up. Same thing happened with me.
How do you want to leave your legacy as well?
We would be the last generation to talk about ourselves in our own words because now all your digital platforms are telling you about your life journey.
How do you think is the importance of having a mentor in one's life?
Mentor is extremely important. Mentor is there to support you mentally, to guide you, to direct you. The moment you have a mentor, your 50% of problems are gone.
Vaibhav, hi, good morning. How are you doing today?
Good, good. Thank you, Prayank. Thank you for having me. I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic. Fantastic. Can't complain about anything. Good to see you after a long time.
Likewise. It's a month of December. It's like a fun month.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, yeah. So we will be having a lot of fun over today's conversation as well.
Looking forward to it. Absolutely.
Excellent, excellent. So, Vaibhav, if I have to ask you to understand your journey in your own words, I especially want to reflect towards how you started your life, like first 10 years of your life. Then we can look into 10 to 20, 20 to 30, and then 30 to 40 and 40 and beyond. And how do you want to leave your legacy as well? So, if you can start with your life now, since you're looking back, how do you look at it, and what interventions, even if certain memories which you have, the beautiful memories which you think shaped you who you are today, would love to know that. I think that is the best way to know who you are as a person, and everybody would love understanding your life that way.
It is so interesting you asking me this question, and I think probably we would be the last generation to talk about ourselves in our own words because now all your digital platforms are telling you about your life journey. Like your Google Photos, your Meta, Instagram, they're telling you what happened last year, 10 years ago, all the pictures are coming.
Correct.
So it is so nice, that I think probably we would be the last one to talk about ourselves. But yes, this is very interesting question you asked. You know, uh, when I talk about like my initial, like this 10 years, uh, it is something where you are bonded with your family, with your school, your upbringing, right? And these are the instances which leave mark, and they sort of like they help you to shape your life in a good or bad way. Like it could be either ways. So I would like to share a story. Like it will also help to understand like why this career. Why is that? So it is a very interesting story. My uncle, he had a lot of passion about bikes, and I'm talking about like this early 90s where this Bombay streets were empty, right? And then very few people were having like most of the people would have this uh, Bajaj, scooter,
Bajaj Auto,
but
yeah.
and bikes were just having the early entries, and they were like good speed and everything. So my uncle, like having a passion, he had like good collection of bikes, and he would sort of like to dig into it. Himself was an some mechanical engineer. Okay, and then with his research and all his mechanic stuff, he found out that if he made certain changes and upgraded certain parts, the efficiency of the bike would improve, the speed would improve, and the mileage, because like if you compare scooter with bike, the bike mileage would be obviously lesser as compared to
Lesser,
scooter.
correct.
And being boys, we love with this bikes and everything, and you want to hear more
Yes.
about it. So he had developed something, some device, and then he had come to meet my father. My father was like a judge then. Yeah, and he wanted to take his advice. Now he was an innovator at the time. He was a smart man. He knew that if he just shared this information like with anyone else, they would just simply copy it. And that time, like I was just part of the conversation. I was like playing like right next to my father. Like I wanted to understand what advice he's giving. And that time, like I was introduced to the concept of patents. I was like, wow, this is something like a very smart thing that no one can steal from you. This is would be what is yours. And and another concept, like or like another idea came in my mind was that the your buck doesn't stop when you done with your innovation. It is also your duty to protect your innovation. And
Correct.
I'm not sure, like you, I'm sure more, everyone must have seen the movie The Founder,
Yeah.
right? The McDonald's story.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know how brilliantly, and this is a living story, that if you don't take care of your own stuff, someone will take it from you. So my this early years were like revolving around this thought, and like boys would be boys, they would do something, try to innovate, stuff like that. So this is how my like childhood was. Thankfully, my parents were pretty accepting with my notoriousness, and they gave me a free hand. So was my school, and luckily, even they were not more keen on academics. They wanted me to think freely, and that really helped me. And next, during my college, so I decided to pursue my career in law, and with the idea of having helping the innovations. Interestingly, I enrolled for this 5 years course. In 2003, there was a amendment in Patents Act. The amendment said that if you want to be patent attorney or patent agent, you need to have science background.
Science background.
So I did my 12 years in science. I wanted to be
Okay.
patent attorney, so I directly jumped for a 5 years course. But I couldn't be patent attorney anymore because I need to be a science, I need to have a science background, then appear for patent agent exam. I was in a limbo. Should I go back, do my science, or complete this? I was like, let me just complete, go ahead with my law. So I complete my 5 years law. And then I started thinking, like, what should I do? Like, IP is a very vast field. I can be a patent. Like, I don't have to choose patents per se. I can get into trademarks, copyright, designs, or like other streams of IPs. But then I thought, this is good, but then I don't want to just have that notion in my mind that just because I was lazy or not willing to study more, I did not pursue my passion. So after that, I did my 3 years of graduation in BSc physics.
That's
Yes,
after you have completed your law.
absolutely. And I had also enrolled for Master of Business Laws from NLSIU. So
Okay.
I was in a double mind. What should I do? And then it was extremely overwhelming for me. I was working with
I can
Mr.
imagine.
Darwala that time, and then Mr. Darwala, late Mr. Darwala, legendary. And I was having discussion with him. He said, "Give it a shot. Like you should, if you want to do it, why don't you appear for like this BSc?" And I told him that I have also entered for Master of Business Laws. Like law you have already studied. It can wait. BSc, if you don't get back to it now, you will never get back to it. Like, yeah, it did make sense. So I took a break from Master of Business Laws, MBL, and then I, concentrated on my BSc. You won't believe, like, have you seen that movie, Munna Bhai MBBS?
Yeah,
The
of
Sanjay
course,
Dutt
many
walks
times.
in. Yeah,
Yeah,
Sanjay Dutt
yeah.
walks in like every like class stood up. Same thing happened with me. Teachers were younger than me. Teachers were
Love
younger
it.
than me. I'm not kidding you. And then first class I attended, and I was like, it's not my cup of tea. I'd forgotten about all the concepts. I had no idea, and that was my physics class. I had almost forgotten everything. I thought I made a mistake. Is it? So in this journey, like a lot of people have helped me. So I called a friend of mine who is a professor. I spoke to him, who had helped me, securing this
Okay.
admission. You need to give the affidavit that why there's an
Oh.
age gap. Like why you pursuing
Yeah, yeah.
like I had no
Fortunately,
idea about it.
unfortunately, in India, we still have that process. Yes.
Yes,
You need to
yes, yes.
explain why we are taking a break.
Correct, absolutely. So I called him. I asked him that, I don't think so. I have it in me anymore. I don't. I won't be able to do that. He told me that This is just a first day. Don't give up. You have not even appeared for the exam. Give a shot. If you still feel that you can't do it, quit that point in time, not on the first day. I said, okay, let me do it. Like, why to give up on the first day? And this is how I started. Physics is something like you may be aware that chemistry 200, 300 students would enroll. Biology or botany, zoology, again, in hundreds. Physics you'll find like in two digits or rather single digit. Four students were there. Three were repeaters. I was the only first timer in my final year,
Pressure.
and it was really too much of pressure in my when I was in my final year. So I used to do my morning practicals at Elphinstone. Then I go to office. I used to do my proper job, like being in a court and everything. And at night, like after office hours, I used to go to King Circle. There's a place like pretty distance from the High Court. I used to go there to attend classes, and that was that one entire year. I don't know whether I met my friends, I ever talked to them. No family functions, nothing. It was just one thing that I want to do justice to my work, because my office was very cooperative, very supportive, and at the same time I wanted to complete my graduation. And very interesting, another interesting story, like how you even your teachers help your life, is that in physics, what are the passing marks? 20.
Out of 100?
Yes, and still people fail.
I know, I know. I have given those physics 1, physics 2 in my engineering. I know how tough that gets.
And I had attempted a question paper of like 28 marks. And I had, till then, I had no idea that the passing marks are 20. I called my professor. I told her, it doesn't make sense for me to appear for like last paper, because I was able to solve like paper only up to like 28 marks. That time she told me like it's 20 marks. I didn't believe her, but she encouraged me to, appear for the
Appear for
final
the
paper
exams.
also. And I had passed. I cleared
Lovely.
all the exams. I had got 21 marks in that paper. Exactly 21. And other paper I had got some 64. Her like theory of relativity and
Okay.
thermodynamics. So it's like two subjects in paper four. It was her favorite subject and my favorite subject. I had scored 64.
Lovely.
And the person who had like the first ranker, even he had just touched the first class in all the four subjects. So this is how people help. Then patent agent exam, I became the patent attorney. But like small and like every part of my life, people have encouraged me, pushed me when I was giving up. So this is my journey so far, without giving into like 10, 20, 30. But this is my journey so far.
Lovely. You touched upon a very beautiful aspect of life where you have been helped by people, be it your friends, be it your family, be it your college professors as well. How do you think is the importance of having a mentor in one's life? What's the importance of that? Somebody being there to mentor you, to guide you at certain stages in your life. What's the role of those mentors for you and for others as well?
uh, Mentor is extremely important. Mentor is there to support you mentally, to guide you, to direct you. The moment you have a mentor, your 50% of problems are gone, because mentally you are at peace. You know that I have someone, that person, he or she will help me. You are mentally prepared with that. At some point in time, mentor would just listen to you, and while you are narrating your problems, you might find answer with while narrating itself. But having a mentor, it helps a lot. There's no stages. You need mentor at every stage, every time you need it. You may be for mentor for somebody else, but at the same time you would still need a mentor. That because we are humans, we are evolving, and if we don't evolve, then we are dead. We are stopped then and there. if we don't make progress by trying, attempting something new, then we will not evolve. And to attempt something new, we need a mentor. So mentor play extremely important role. So it could be in terms of your parents, your father figure, your mother figure, your teachers, sometimes your peers also.
That's, I agree 100%. But sometimes, in fact, most of the times, people face difficulties in finding a right mentor. So, if there is a way to identify who is the right mentor for you, I would love to know from you if there's something which you follow, some hack, some method which helps you to identify mentor at every different intervals.
Uh, One simplest thing is that what problem you're facing, and then you need to identify who may have gone through that problem, who may have already faced it. Now, not necessarily your immediate senior may have faced that problem. Somebody else may have faced it. So,
Okay.
that filter helps. That sometimes, like, you may be having trouble in your personal life. In your personal life, also, you need a mentor. That time, you, not necessarily your parents, may have gone through that, but your friends may have gone through it. They'll play as a mentor in your corporate life. Okay, you have some certain legal issues. Okay, you then look at your senior, that how he may have dealt it, how she may have dealt it. Sometimes you are not looking for legal answers, you are looking for something like street smart solutions. Your
Yeah.
CEOs, COOs, they may have helped you. So to find a mentor, it's not easy or like a task. But having said that, you can't just approach someone and then ask them to be a mentor. Okay, it's not something that if you want to ask something, you need to build that relationship. If somebody comes to me, or like if I want to go and meet a CEO and ask him that this is my issue, why he or she is under obligation to entertain me? You need to build that rapport. You should be also equally ready that somebody should accept you as a disciple. So it's a both way street. So what I've done so far, like to identify whether that person has gone through that problem and what kind of bond I share with that person. So these are my two filters to have a right mentor. And there's no one mentor. Life is extremely fast paced. You will face different problems, and you can't have one solution or like one mentor for all the problems.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for the profound wisdom and the two-step approach in identifying a good mentor. I'm sure people who are watching us would be able to relate to it, and they would be able to identify a good mentor for them who can help them in their different stages of life. So moving forward, so Vaibhav, since you've done the patent agent, you are a lawyer yourself, and of course, you belong to a family where your dad was also a judge. Help me understand, did you ever imagine to be an in house counsel while you were growing up or while you were going through the law school as well? Did you ever imagine to be in this
Never,
position?
never.
How did
Welspun
this
happened to
transition
me.
happen then?
Welspun just happened to me, and happened for good. So I came across this opportunity, and when I looked at the role, it was a global exposure. When you're an in-house counsel working in an IP boutique firm, you are given a certain like aspect of IP. You will eventually move around all the departments, but eventually you will be looking at one particular aspect of the IP. Wellspun gave me the platform. Like it was a global IP. I would deal with everything. I'm like now I'm heading the IP department, but I would lead that. I was responsible for setting up the IP for Wellspun. Now getting the first patent granted, to be the getting awarded as the highest number of patent applications filed cited. Innovation leader. Like we have been awarded by TextProsil recently. So Wellspun is now termed as an innovation leader in the home textile domain. So this like a decade long journey. It has helped me. I did introduce so many things at Welspun. I learned so many things in my this journey. So I'm very grateful that I did not stick to my notion that I would never be in-house counsel and I would have my continue to have my independent practice. Uh, I did not, had that some sort of like uh, the like that word that notion in my mind that no, that you can't be in-house counsel. I think that things have changed drastically. In 2014 to 2025, even the people, the way look at in-house counsel is completely different. Now, we are not only as a gatekeeper of your innovations, but we are also growth keeper. We help you, like we are growth partner. People do consult, like your stakeholders would want to consult you that at the inception, commercialization, like what are approvals are required, FTOs, they don't look at you as a barrier. They're looking at you as a partner, that how we can come out of the barrier and bring this innovation to the world, how we can commercialize it. So this in-house plays extremely important role, and I realized that after taking this opportunity, that there are so many avenues and opportunities can open up in this role.
Interesting. So you spoke about very good terminology of gatekeeper and growth keeper. If you can shed some more light on it, why do people in general have this notion that there's an in-house lawyer, he's going to be a gatekeeper, he's going to do so many red lines, he's going to ask so many questions and put our deal on hold, versus what the lawyers, I mean, from all the conversation I've had with so many other general counsels as well, they are pro business. They want to make the business function fast and progress itself. That's why they are brought into the system. But the team otherwise, in the whole organization, thinks that they are gatekeeper, they are blocking things, they are putting a barrier. What challenges did you face when you joined Wellspun in changing this notion of gatekeeper and becoming their partner and now growth keeper? Would love to know your insights on this over your journey.
Absolutely, what you said is 100% true. People think that we are bringing money, we are bringing business, and that's going to get the money in the system. Then why not to have this business? People don't have a long-term vision, and when you sort of like make them understand, at the same time you make them have the ownership that if this happens, would you be able to bring the ownership, like will you bear the onus on yourself? This is something, everything is good, then I bought the business. But if something goes south, then the legal didn't do his job correctly. Right. And
Yeah.
then, there would be instances that where legal would be it's like, in my initial days, like, oh, you are not making this happen. You're extremely vigilant. You're trying to find loopholes in everything, or problems in every issue. We can't do business like this. Okay. And then when certain issues arise, because I used to tell them one thing: when everything is good, you don't even need this piece of paper. This
Correct.
paper is only going to help you when everything goes south, when you don't want to see
True.
each other's face.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they wouldn't listen. And at the time, when something went wrong, they came back to us. And when I pointed out that, this clause was very essential. So, very interesting case, on no name basis. Like, we were dealing with a giant tech in USA. That lady came on the call, and her first sentence was like, we are giant tech in USA. We don't negotiate. I said, very well. We're the home textile expert in the world. If I want, I can go to any tech company in Bangalore, get this thing done. You have 200 patents in this technology, smart textile. You are not able to commercialize that single patent. You're not able to come up with any product. We are home textile. You have, you need us more than we need you. Now tell me, you want to negotiate or you don't want to negotiate? Trust me, the discussion went for 6 weeks. Six
Wow.
weeks. We didn't budge. And thankfully, when some reasons we like our paths sort of like separated, the ownership of the IP, since it was like both party had equal rights, we could get out of it. And when they saw that, because like also our inputs were extremely vital and important, because of that clause, we got saved. We have a couple of
Yes.
patents in that, and we are able to commercialize that.
Lovely.
So when they see that we are just not stopping them, but we are also helping them to secure their rights, that time they understand, okay, we are not their enemies, but we are their partners, we are their friends to help them out. And this is not a like overnight journey. Rome was not built in a day.
Absolutely.
So that way you
Absolutely.
have to keep on working on that.
All right. So, taking a page from the same point about U.S. negotiation, since you have been part of the negotiation teams as well over the years, you have dealt with the European, Indian, and the U.S. Companies. How different or challenging it is to negotiate with foreign counterparts when somebody from India is representing on the negotiation table? How does those dynamics work when you're talking to a US person versus a European person versus an Indian person on the negotiation table?
Oh, each of them has their different point of view, and at the same time all of them want to have the biggest piece of the pie.
Right.
And in USA people would want to have the more technology with them, even if there's zero contribution. uh, they would, if they're transferring any technology to you, and if you develop on that technology, they would still would want to own that technology, right? And they would want to have it exclusively. Apart from Europe, they would want to have that, non-exclusive. They would be open for that. That it's okay that we can have non-exclusive, but do license it back to us. And in India, it is fine, you have developed it, it's yours. If we have not contributed, we are okay with that. This has been my experience so far. uh, it is very important that this is something you have negotiated and you have drafted. But when you are developing something and your team does not mark it as a confidential, this is not a joint, this is not your own development. Then it would be something, it could be it's your word against mine, that this is our discussion. I pitched this idea and you just put it on the email. It could go chaotic and it could go ugly. So no matter what with whom you're discussing, but at the time, training and empowering your team is extremely important. We send these regular emails to our R&D that start mark privilege and confidential on top of your email or on your subject line. Those, it sounds so small but it's so
Yeah.
important. And US people, they're ruthless. They're ruthless. They would
Yes.
say, NDA was sent to you, we didn't sign it.
Correct.
We are not part of NDA, though they have the State Secret Act. But no, it won't be helpful. So you're dealing with certain people who knows law, and who would be ruthless are those. So you have to be extremely cautious.
What are the skills which are required to be succeeding in this particular job role when there are ruthless people all around? Uh, how do one succeed in this particular high tension, high pressure role where stakes are high?
It is, it happens over the period of time. It does get overwhelming. Uh, in this situation, patience is the key. That people would try to samadam dandabhed, they would try to
All right.
irritate you and try to do whatever they could, maybe give sarcastic remarks, and uh, do any other thing. I have found that if you play dumb, be patient, be calm. The moment you play dumb, the other person would want to show off their knowledge. They would
Okay.
overshare.
Okay.
And then it helps you in negotiations also. In certain situations, like I gave you the example of earlier, that smart textile domain, you have to show your ground that this is what it is. If you're asking me to get out, I have a better options. So there's no straight logic or straight answer for that. You have to wear those hats as and when required. When somebody's trying to be extra smart, so you have to play accordingly. That you have to show place at certain point in time. Certain places, if you think that being dumb you're going to get better deal, no harm doing that. So
Lovely.
that's what I've been doing.
Be patient, keep your ego aside, play dumb when required, and always try to win the deal because that's what ultimately you're aiming for. That's a good way to summarize a high stake negotiation. Lovely. So, Vaibhav, since IP has been major part of your life, and that's what actually intrigued you as well to come into this field altogether. Help me understand when it comes to IP and when you're talking about India at a global stage, people still do not see India as that like IP heavy country. We do not have that kind of a respect globally the way US, European, or Japanese, Korean companies or those countries enjoy. What must happen so that IP landscape in India changes for good?
Litigations.
Exactly, bang on. I mean, I entered into IP in 2016 thinking litigations would start to happen in 2020, and we are in 2025. I'm still not seeing any litigation or those number of litigations which should have happened. Yes, but
Fear is the only key. Licensing is not the thing. The more you have the litigations, that's the only when people will start taking you seriously. That
all right.
and why people are afraid of US litigations. Myself have faced like a couple of litigations. We fought, we filed against us. The cost of attorneys are extremely high, right? So you maybe end up spending for the settlement, say 100 to 300,000 dollars USD, right? In India, that matter just make it settle in 3 to 5 lakhs, and that's not a huge amount. Right. So people are extremely cautious when you want to file any IP litigation in USA because it's not pocket friendly, and people don't take the litigation so seriously in India because it's not going to it's not heavy on your pocket, right? But litigation is the only way to start taking IP seriously. Why people are taking data privacy seriously? 200 crores of fine, that's
All
something
right.
serious.
Yes,
Right.
that is
2
serious.
years imprisonment and 30,000 rupees fine, or both. Repeated offenders, counterfeiting. It's
Yep,
rampant.
correct.
Right.
Heavy.
So litigations, I feel that's how people will start taking IP very seriously, be it patents, trademark, copyright.
But I agree. Litigation is one thing which will, of course, help everybody understand the value of IP, and that's how actually people can realize the value of it as well. But apart from litigation, because not you and I would be ending up doing litigations or forcing people to get into those, what else can be done by the IP community, if I have to ask you, or people who are sitting at the top to encourage people get into IP, consider IP more seriously?
So like a lot of companies nowadays, they are coming up with this incentivizing for the innovation. Okay. And we have these programs and platforms also where you can submit your ideas or like whatever changes you're brought into the system. We have platform called Manthan.
Okay.
Okay. And we sort of publicize their idea and the mail sent to everyone with their pictures, a snapshot of what they have done, how it has helped in saving the cost to the company, and the award. Okay, so there are two ways. One is a monetary benefit. Second is the recognition. Okay, so these are the two things which sort of help people to innovate. Uh, when you are recognized, who wouldn't want to get into the limelight at at such a large level, large scale? So these are the ways you can encourage your employees, because your ideas would come from the plant. Okay, if you want to make any changes in the machinery, you want to sort of cut down certain steps, would come from there. Those things will not come from the table desk job. That it will not happen on the theory. It has to be a practical thing. So this is the way we have been very successful. Why we are getting these awards? Because we are encouraging our people that
Right.
this is yours.
Exactly. I think this blueprint of encouraging more and more employees, incentivizing them, giving them the due recognition, organization wide needs to go out. You should share this with people so that they can implement it, take some learnings, make some templates of it, and then you start incorporating in their organizations as well. I think this is a great step. I'm sure I'm talking to few of the organizations and who have implemented certain policies like this, and yes, it definitely helps. Recognition helps way more than the monetary benefits. Everybody wants to have that unique badge, their identity, that oh, I am an inventor, I was recognized amongst 5,000 people, the CEO gave me a medal because I was an inventor, part of all these ideas. So yeah, I think recognition plays a very crucial role in pushing these things forward. Some thanks for sharing that. So Weber, help me understand something about your daily schedule as well. How does typical day look like at your desk?
Oh, I don't keep any meetings on Monday and Fridays,
Okay, okay.
because it could be anything. Anything could come on my desk. So there are no fixed meetings, no scheduled meetings, because I don't know when and where I'll be called. So Mondays
That's the story of every lawyer. Yeah.
and Fridays is that you don't know what you have to finish, what you have to conclude. So Mondays and Fridays, no meetings at all. And Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is something I, because like I take care of the entire department. I need to bring some sort of discipline, because in our profile, discipline is extremely important. So at certain stage, you have to do more of hand holding, more of reviews, and take certain decisions. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you have to plan it in a such a way that you are able to complete your reviews, able to take certain decisions and finalize them. Because when you working for the global platform, you start with the India time. By noon,
All
you
right.
start complete, discussing with your
US
UK team
times.
that
Right.
what are their requirements are, and by evening, when you are closing your day, you need to speak with your USA team and understand their situations, like what are their problems. So there is no way that you can able to close your shop by 8 o'clock, though you have to start your shop at 8 o'clock. They will always come with the surprises. You need to have that some sort of breather in between your these pointers. So one thing I learned from my senior is that no matter what, he will step out of the office for 10-15 minutes for a fresh air post his lunch. And I used to feel that, am I able to take out that time? Do I have the bandwidth? Initially, I thought, no, I don't have the bandwidth. I need to finish this like in 15 minutes' time. I will be able to finish two emails. Okay. But that 15 minutes of breather gave me a refreshment. The next 30 to 40 minutes, I was more active. So
Okay.
having this some sort of like 15 minutes of fresh air, it helps a lot. Now, when I grew up, I was not raised in an air condition. Now, my son, my child, he doesn't know what is like fresh air, because like the condition of like Bombay AQ has also dropped quite a bit. So this is what it is. Having a fresh air is extremely important. Having a we are not a somebody who is doing a clerical job. We are doing something with our brain. Our brain also need to reset.
Yeah,
This is how
great.
I would do it.
Lovely. Are there any other practices which you follow in your personal time for which helps you to reset your brain? Something like meditation, wellness, anything for your mental wellness, mental peace.
Physical health is extremely important. You need to find time for physical health. That's it's mental health and physical health are extremely important in today's time. And for me, even some sort of like journaling. So I still struggle with journaling, but again, my another mentor. So she just keeps telling me, just like two sentences. I might end up writing one entire page, but to write those two sentences, I have to pull myself. Should I take out that diary from my from my desk? Should I write it? No. Uh, I have iPad. I try to write with that, but the feel and touch of the book is different. Notebook is
Correct.
different. Journaling has helped me. Not that I claim to do it every day, but as far as possible, as and when I get time, I do journaling. Mental and physical health, they go hand in hand. There's no other way to keep you sane apart from these two. You have to have them.
Lovely. Lovely. Awesome. So, Vaibhav, if I have to ask you this, considering the AI, which is going at a rapid pace right now, with so many questions regarding privacy, governance, ethical use of AI, safe use of AI, all of that going around. And since you are tasked with setting up processes and systems at your organization as well, how did you take up AI challenge? What are you doing? What sort of guidelines or guardrails one organization should have considering the evolving nature of AI? And specifically related to IP, what does it bring on the surface? So would love to know about your take on AI adoption, AI privacy, and everything around AI.
Absolutely. We have to accept the fact that our life is now with AI. The and what is the problem with AI is that our fear is not with the AI. Our fear is with our lack of knowledge and awareness that what AI can do. Not knowing is our fear. It is the best tool to adapt our day-to-day life. Okay, I'm gonna talk about the good and bad for both the ways.
Sure.
It's not that AI is just evolved. It has been there, but not people did not talk about it so much. For example, there were so many apps or softwares who would help you to draft patent application before that buzzword started coming in. Like way back, I think in 2018, people were still using those softwares. It may not be that sophisticated, but it would give you good first draft of the patent drafting. This is how you're skilled aspect of it. AI implementation is extremely necessary when it comes to, because this is what you if you don't do it, your competition is going to do it.
Correct.
You can't afford to lose that edge. If somebody is going to come up with certain idea, is able to, with the help of AI, able to identify what are the lack of novelty, which lacks inventive steps or whatever. If it is obvious, hide like if you're able to do the freedom to operate, you know these things are, with the help of AI, you're able to sort it out, come up with a solution, and file the patent application first to launch. Commercial advantage. If you don't take it, somebody else will take it. So you have to start implementing it. Again, now you can't do the search on all the search AI search engines. How they are fed is with the data. You can't give them the data just like that. So you have to have certain policies set. Most of the organization don't allow AI tool on their platform because the entire company's data is compromised. So you need to have certain identify, platforms which can be used.
Okay.
Now, again, like people will say that even same thing about the Google, but the way Google is not fed on that amount of data. Okay, Google has different search engines, but when it comes to AI, how to give, first of all, the basic part is that how to give the right prompts and how to keep reworking with your AI prompts. So those are things. There are so many things involved. So first of all, you have to accept that you have to deal with AI. Second thing, you need to have a right policies that whether you can, how you can use it, whether everybody can use it. And third, you have to just keep, you have to learn with the AI that way.
Yes, you have to learn with the AI. Correct. So, question to you: Is your son better AI user than you?
He's just 2 year old, but he's
Oh,
still smart. He
all
knows
right.
like how to switch on the YouTube. He still knows that.
Okay.
He knows where to find the YouTube icon.
Oh, lovely. Yes. So he can operate the phone.
We try to avoid that, but like he is into play school, and the kids they know his time to picking it up.
All right. And since, as you said, we are in the age of AI, then I think by the time he comes of age and he is able to understand things, he would be a great user of AI, and in the entire generation actually. Uh, they can do so much things and reduce inefficiencies and make more efficient products as well in the future. That's what I'm hoping for.
I agree with you. On a personal note, uh, which sort of like segment would do well for humans? What do you think? What is your take?
Services side of things, where we need to consult people here and there. I think that is something which can be solved, or solutions can be built around that on a
I
massive
feel the
level.
theaters. I feel theaters would do extremely well because in today's time, where
Cost of
this
production
AI
would
is coming
reduce.
up with this deep fakes or like these virtual
Yeah,
videos, when
correct.
the actual humans are performing without any involvement of AI, people would want to visit that much. That's my personal feel, like my personal gut feeling says that the point would come that people want to do this digital detox.
Yeah,
Definitely, at one point in time, people would want to do the AI detox and be with the nature.
correct.
That's what our nature is.
Yes,
But
yes,
it's on a
absolutely.
personal note, obviously.
Yes, yes, I agree. I agree 100% on this. Yes, lovely. So, if I have to ask you one question before we conclude, what advice would you like to give to your younger self, 20-year-old Vaibhav?
Uh, take more risk, take more risk, and of course, I did take risk. But one point in time, you realize then you start taking calculated risk. So one advice I would give that risk is part and parcel of life. You have to take risk. The only risk is not by taking risk.
Is not by taking, yeah, is not taking a risk itself. Yes,
Correct.
correct.
So
Awesome, awesome. This was great. Lovely, lovely talking to you, Vaibhav. Thank you so much for your time. And we really enjoyed having the open heart conversation with you. And you have been a true giver. You did not shy away from answering any of these questions. And you gave absolute wisdom onto this podcast. And I'm sure the viewers would also love this.
likewise, likewise, I want to thank you to come up with this such a brilliant ideas because these kind of platforms, it not only help us but like even help other people to learn from others story, because you don't have to experience everything by yourself. So genuinely thanks to you and thanks to your team to come up with such an innovative idea and giving me this platform speak my mind without any filter. Thanks to you
Thanks.
as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This has been a lovely chat.
Likewise, likewise. Thank you.